Women should get rich as fuck, open businesses, and be CEOs, and men should still pay all the freaking bills. They pay for the bill in the house, they pay for the bill for the babies, they pay for all the dinners, they pay for absolutely everything. You got so many shit to pay for everything you've done, society. You're gonna pay us for bringing babies.
The women who are 35 and over are the most best looking women in history, okay? In history. And I was watching a podcast of this guy yesterday, and that's what he was saying, okay? He was like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like the millennials, like these girls like from 35 and over, it's almost like they look better than the 20-year-olds. And I agree with him. Okay? Look at us. Look at our generation, the 35 and over, okay, club. We're just out here, right? And the thing is, it's like, we look better now in our 30s and 40s than we did back in the day. And you know it's true. You know it's true. But when he said that, I was starting to think about it. I'm like, dude, this guy's right. This guy's right. Because if you look at 35 plus year olds back in the day, back in the 90s, 80s, 50s, whatever, they didn't look like us. We have set the tone for every generation after us. But it's a hard tone, right? Because I'm curious to see now what these 20-year-olds are going to look like at our age. Millennials might just be the best looking generation yet. I don't know. Go us.
I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. But to answer your question, I don't know. But what I can say is that I'm 32 years old. And for me, meeting people is not the problem. It's meeting someone in their 30s that is ready for something serious. Because believe it or not, nowadays, I don't know if it's just me, ladies. Please let me know if I'm the only one or if you get what I'm trying to say. There are way more people in their 30s, guys, that are not ready to have anything serious. Like, since when are we in our 30s and we're still flexing at the fact that you can get a bunch of women? Not cute. And
I'm like, yeah, our eggs are getting less and less, but your hair is depleting by the second. All of them are balding. You know how people always say, like, oh, I should have bought a house, like, in 2008 when I was, like, 12 years old and blah, 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 blah. That's how I'm starting to feel about dating. Like, I should have found my husband when I was, like, 10 before that they were, like, horrible human beings and life was awful. First of all, when your frontal lobe develops, you'll no longer accept, like, the bare minimum. And, like, you, like, once you get your confidence up stuff, too, like, I'm just like, no. Like, I'm not trying to do a hookup. Like, gross. Like, respect me. Like, too many things. And dating's not going well. Like, I got asked on a date this weekend and I just immediately was like, no. Like, the thought didn't even cross my head. I was like, not happening, not interested. What am I gonna do there? Same thing I always do. Talk, have a good time, realize I only had a good time because I am a good time, and then go home and think, wow, that was a waste of doing my hair and makeup. Never gonna speak to that guy again. I'm exhausted. You know, while I'm at it, let me add that there's also a pandemic of men who just, like, don't take initiative, don't act like they give a fuck, like, nonchalant. Like, the amount of times a guy on Hinge is like, oh, like, we should go get dinner. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And he's like, where should we go? And I'm like, you're the one who just suggested that we get dinner. I think a man should have to plan the first date, especially if he's the one asking me on it. But yeah, men are not planning. They are not taking initiative. They're acting nonchalant, like they don't have a timeline either. And I'm like, yeah, our eggs are getting less and less, but your hair is depleting by the second. All of them are balding.
So I am frazzled, but I'm gonna rant for 5 seconds, okay?
And by 5, I mean more than 5.
Modern dating makes zero sense to me. First off, I am genuinely curious. How do people have rosters of people? Do you know how many people I can get? Guess right now. I can get one. I can't get one. So tell me how the frack y'all are getting more than one. How do you guys have rosters of dudes? And second, I don't want to be on your fucking roster. If I'm on a roster of people, if they can have you, they can fucking have you. I'm not a roster girl. I am the top of the roster, the only one. I should probably eat, but modern dating is stupid.
That's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So if you're over 30 and single, listen to my rant, please.
Where do you find guys? And don't tell me online dating. No, I'm not going to believe you. If you just go, hey, online dating, found them on Bumble. Yeah, so did 3 of my best friends. Like, Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, actually. But, like, not now. Not in 2023. We're not finding people online. Like, they just want our money. They don't want our love. So, where do you meet them? And then I've been getting TikToks. It's like, leave the house. It's like, okay, I'll leave the house. Where am I going?
Where are the men in the middle? Like, I'm talking between 38 and 50. Are you guys just not divorced yet? Or what? Because on these apps, you know, the dating apps, I either get the people that are in their like early to mid 20s asking if I like younger men, or I get the people that are like in their 60s, and I'm like, no way in hell. Why would you even message me? There's no way at 60 years old you want to start a whole new life with somebody who has 2 young kids. Like, get real, right? So anyway, where are you guys at? Like, where are the younger, like, where's the middle-aged men? I'm thinking they're just not divorced yet, but it's okay. I can wait.
Guys, you know what I was thinking about today? Men have it so easy. Men have it so freaking easy. One, they don't bleed every month, okay? They don't go through literal psychosis 3 weeks out of the month, okay? Which that leaves 1 week that I'm normal, that I'm a normal person. So that's 12 weeks out of the year that I'm a sane human being. And that probably goes for every girl, because depending on like what phase I'm in like my cycle or whatever, I will literally be batshit crazy, like crazy. And then like I'll look back, like on my normal week, I'll look back on like see what I did during those other 3 weeks, and it's like, holy shit, who was that person? So that's issue number 1. Okay, issue number 2 is, honestly, I really think men have the pick of the litter. They do, because there are so many pretty single girls out there, and then when you look at the ratio of single pretty women to single pretty men, or like good looking men, girls, men, okay? That's how it is. Anyway, that's just my thought of the day, and there's so many other things that men have it easy with, and this is just me complaining. Okay, bye.
So I'm gonna be 23 in 2026, so that means in 2027 I'm gonna be 24. I'm hella unked out. Like, bro, I'm really struggling though, dating wise. Like, that's like the time I should be getting married is when I'm 24, I think. 24, 25. I've tried dating apps and most of them suck. And I feel embarrassed to be on a dating app in the first place. And then I go to a young single adult ward, and all the guys there are weird too, because like if you wait too long, they'll be talking to someone, but if you ask them out too soon, they'll be like, I'm not interested in dating anyone. So I'm tan, hot, funny, I'm 5'8", I work 2 jobs. One of the jobs involving the opposite gender, I haven't met anyone at that job either. But I keep on having dreams about my person. And then I walked around town square last night for the 2nd time this month to try to get bruz, not close. All stares, no talking. Like, no one wants to talk to me.
And these niggas be so far gone and fucked up in the head. This nigga gonna tell me, oh, I feel like you post for other niggas and you do everything for the male gaze and all you do is care about the attention from other niggas. Bitch, first off, I post for myself and the bad bitches, and that's it. And that's all that it ever been and all that it ever will be, ho. Second of all, you worried about other niggas, worried about if I'm fucking with other niggas. Bitch, I barely fuck with you. Clock that. Second of all, I'm worried about how to get some motherfucking money. And that's what you need to be worried about as well. You worried about other niggas. Bitch, I'm worried about how the fuck I'm going to fucking get a house paid off. I'm worried about how the bitches is paying cash for these fucking AMGs. And going to Italy and Punta Cana every motherfucking weekend. That's what the fuck I'm worried about. I'm worried about my next hairstyle, bitch. I'm worried about if I'm going to get a square shape or an almond shape on my nails, ho. I'm worried about how much money I need to put aside for my Roth IRA so that I can be rich in the next 15 years. That's what I'm worried about. You worried about other niggas? And thinking that I post for other niggas? Bitch, I got real motion. And it don't include you. Get the fuck off my phone. Talking about some other niggas. Bitch, do you know who the fuck I am?
People just love to romanticize being a pretty woman, that life comes so easy for you and you get everything in life that you want, which you certainly can, but it can also be a very lonely life. And also when I'm saying a pretty girl, an attractive person, I'm not only talking about the outside, I'm talking about the the inside, how your soul is, how you treat other people. All of these things contribute to being a pretty woman. I want to do a video talking about it and why I think it's really hard for anybody that's attractive, for that matter, to make good relationships. It is very hard, especially in female friendships, to find a good connection that doesn't see you as competition. Naturally, when you're an attractive or pretty woman, your confidence is higher up there. You have a better sense of self compared to most other people. And that can attract some really insecure types of people into your life. When those insecure people come into your life, they try to latch off of that. Whether that's in the form of competition, just trying to one-up you, and even imitating you for that matter. Not only for the sole purpose of being attractive, but if you're also an attractive person that has a good heart, a good soul, you're a nice person, you have a high sense of self and confidence, that is intimidating to a lot of people, and a lot of people can grow jealous of that and hate you for it. Our boundaries can be so high, our expectations can be so high, that we just don't foresee the point of letting people into our lives that don't meet those expectations. You're not alone. Pretty women are the most lonely. It's nothing to do with the outside. It also has to do with the inside. But if you have both, live a very good life, and everything that you give out to the world will come back to you. So
I promised myself a long time ago that I would not wait for somebody to live my life with to start living my life. And I have done my best to stick to it. And working in my line of work, being a creator and getting invited to so many cool opportunities has started to weigh so heavily on me. I'm trying not to cry because I obviously feel so lucky, but it really highlights how lonely I feel too, because I'm at an event right now and everyone's here with their people, everyone's with their families, there's couples, and I just don't have anyone, and I'm getting paid to be here, so I'm trying my best to stick through it, but I'm like so sick of this. I don't have much more in me, because I've just been doing things alone for so many years. And I said something about that earlier. I was at the coffee shop that my friend works at, and I said something about how I was going to the soccer game later, and they were like, oh my god, so fun. I was like, honestly, I have a lot of anxiety about it because I have to go alone. And she's like, oh, are you not used to doing things alone? I was like, honestly, I am, and that's the problem. I'm so sick of being alone. And I know just me romantically, but like even just having like a person, because like I know a few people who have just like that friend, like there's two people you always see together, and I have great friends, so this is not me saying that I don't want any of my friends to see this and be like, girl, but as I said the other day, my friends are introverts, so I know if I'm going to a big event or anything that's like outside, they don't necessarily want to do that. And that's my love language, is to be able to understand my friends and meet them where they are. But regardless of if it's a friend or if it's my partner, I just really crave someone to live life with and to share experiences with. I've done enough alone. I want to share it with someone. And I'm like so embarrassed that I'm crying, but like the amount of times people are like, girl, you're crazy. Or like, girl, I wish I could do that. Or girl, like, guys, I can't. I honestly can't. I do it anyways because I cannot bear the idea of life passing me by with me just sitting in my house waiting for someone else. But know that I can't just as much as you can't. And I do it anyways. If you're looking at people's lives on social media thinking they look so shiny and fun, just know that they're probably breaking down just like I am, and they're just not willing to put it out there. Because who would? Honestly, I'm okay with being a little cringe.
By 2030, 45% of women aged 25 to 44 will be single. 20 million homeowners in the United States are single women. That is more than single men. There was also a study that showed that postmenopausal divorced women live longer than married women in that same age group. Also, a study by the University of Reading in 2023 found that more chosen time spent in solitude led to less daily stress indicators. Why am I telling you this? Single women that live alone, we are deemed to be these like witches that should be far, far away in a castle waiting for their Prince Charming to come and kiss them back to life so that their life can begin. Or we are deemed as like the ugly stepsister, or there's something wrong with us, we're damaged goods, and that our singlehood is like a waiting room for the man to enter the chat and change our life. And so many of us women, we buy into that for so long until, at least for me, I was forced to live alone. I did not want to do it. I was terrified to do it. I went through a breakup, and literally everything I was saying to everyone was like, I just don't want to live alone. And here we are now. You couldn't take me out of living alone. Like, it is my favorite thing in the world. And the reality is that Women who live alone, we are at peace. We create our space so that it meets our needs. We take care of ourselves. We sleep well. We are creating our own meals. Like, we just have these like peaceful lives. Now, that's not to say that it's not stressful. It's extremely stressful and it's extremely expensive. It is difficult to be able to afford living alone. And that's why I say it is a literal luxury. Like, it's not something that everybody has access to. However, I really want it to be most women's goal. Even if you're in a relationship, like, I encourage you to live separately, at least for some time, because you got the rest of your life to maybe live with that person. Like, take the time to live alone and settle into who you are. Because when you are around other people constantly, you're always going to be putting on a certain mask to fit that social environment. That's not a bad thing. But if you spend no time alone, then you'll never actually know who you 100% are. And that might be a hot take, but it's a hill I'll die on.
So I've just given up with dating altogether and I am preparing for a lonely single life. I have my dogs. I have a good job. I have a gym. I love the gym. I could live in the gym. This is my second home. And Summers makes some great toys. I'm just wondering what I actually need a man for. I don't need any grief. Work's stressful enough. I don't need to question who you're going to be seeing, whose post you're liking, what girls you're going to be chatting to, whether you're sleeping with multiple people, whether I need to check for STIs. Like, I'm picky and you're not. And I pick my own time over worry. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I choose a quiet life. A life I curate that you don't fuck up.
I just need to be by myself. I am of no use to a man because a man wants a woman that is of use, and I am of no use to a man. Pretty worthless. I don't really like, I'm gonna spell it backwards, XES. I believe that I am ASEXUAL. I don't get urges. I don't want to perform bed worship. I don't want to hunch and holler. I love being single and celibate. I'm 3 years, going on 4 years, single and celibate. I have turned down dates, phone numbers, all the likes, because I'm not the romantic type. I'm not wifey material. I'm not girlfriend material. I ask questions. I'm not agreeable. I'm not overly accommodating.
So crazy because I never attract men my age. I only attract young guys like in their early 20s, mid 20s, which is a no for me. Or I attract old men that think I'm in my early 20s, mid 20s. And that's a no for me too, because y'all are creeps and I don't like that. So yeah, but I never meet people in their 30s. They never come to me. What is up with that?
Anyone else out there in their 40s in the dating pool? Yeah, it's trash, isn't it? The dating pool is full of trash. Why is it that in our 40s we can't find men who can communicate? Where are they? It's like they start off one way, all nice and sweet and communicative and responsive, and then it just goes downhill and you want to call them out on any kind of bullshit, or you want to communicate and the answer is to ghost you and then block you on everything. I don't understand why ghosting and blocking is a thing in your 40s. Fucking communicate. Aren't we overplaying these childish games?
So I'm 26 years old, almost 27, and I have never been in a serious relationship. I never had a boyfriend, never been married. Even both my proms, I went to both of my proms by myself. I was never asked out, on a date to prom or anything like that. And this could be a red flag about me, but it just was never the right time. I just have never had anything go past the talking stage. It's just been like guys who either just didn't want to commit to me or it just didn't work out. So yeah, like even getting asked out on a date, like I haven't, like until recently, like I've never been asked out on a date before. For a while, I used to be upset about it because I was like, I feel like I'm missing out on something because, you know, I never really experienced the whole like being in a relationship, and it's just a portion of my life that I supplement with friends and other things. My whole life I have been single. I've never experienced the feeling of being in a relationship, having a boyfriend. I remember I talked about this when I was 19 and now I'm almost 27 talking about it. The situation still hasn't changed. So it's kind of good because it scares off people that aren't serious about me. But I do wonder sometimes like what it would be like to have a boyfriend. Like, I don't know. Like, I've never experienced it.